pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. We eat so many shrimp. I got iodine partners.
My bitch a choosy lover, never fuck without a rubber. Never in the sheets like it on top of the cover. Money on the dresser, drive a compressor. Top notch hoes get the most, not the lesser. Trash like the fuck for $40 in the club. Fucking up the game, bitch, it gets no love. She be cross country, giving all that she got. 1,000 a pop, I'm pulling business off the lot. I smashed up the gray one, bought me a red. Every time we hit the parking lot, we turn head. Some hoes wanna choose, but them bitches too scary. Your bitch chose me, you ain't a pimp, you a fairy.
A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. We eat so many shrimp. I got iodine partners.
Baby, you been rolling solo, time to get down with the team. The grass is greener on that other side. If you know what I mean, I show you shit you never seen. The 7 wonders of the world. And I can make you the 8th if you wanna be my girl. I say my girl, I don't mean my
Hold on.
That ain't my style. Need a real street stalker. Stalker, walk a green mile. You piling up the paper on the dining room table. Cause you able to realize I'm the truth and not a fable. Baby, rockin' what you say. Well, keep that chiller on the rack. What I look like with some $1,000 shit up on my back. I'm $1 million man that need $1 billion bitch. Put my pimpin' in your life. Watch your daddy get rich. Easy as ABC. Simple as 1, 2, 3. Get down with UGK. Pimp CBU with B. Cause what's a hoe with no pimp? And what's a pimp with no hoe? Don't be a lame. You know the game and how it goes. We try to get chose.
A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. A pimp, not a simp. We eat so many shrimp. I got iodine partners.
Hello, everybody. It is RD of RD's Corporate Fiction. Hold on. I think this is doubling up, isn't it? What? How about now? We good? All right. Hi, everybody. It is RD of RD's Corporate Fiction. Let's start that again. Welcome. This is a post PC upgrade stream. And of course, the first to take advantage of it is Serana. Oh wait, let me turn off the thing. Who's decided to use the top of it as her own little warming pad. This is it. It's I spent way too much money on this, but I decided screw it. I still got to work out some kinks with it, particularly with the lighting. But yeah, it's nuts. Basically, the only things I kept from my old computer is the graphics card and my hard drives, and that's it. It's out of control. So today is going to be a very low-key stream. Because primarily I'm going to show one video that looked interesting, and then the rest of it is basically going to be me reviewing me prepping for the debate this weekend. So it's not going to be the most exciting thing on the planet. One of you guys linked it to me. No. Stop it. Go away. Where was it? Where? Where the hell's my sovereign citizen channel? What the hell? Ah. Oh no, not that. Oh, we already did that one. Never mind. Anyway, we'll watch one over here. It says that it looked like I had already watched it, but I wasn't. I was still working to fix my audio, so I didn't hear anything from it. There we go.
You can't legally commit me to a hospital?
Mr. Hammond.
I'm sorry, Judge, I didn't hear you.
You have just one case on John Hanna today?
Yes, Judge. Yes, Judge, just one
blocking
case.
him. Hold on. I gotta turn on the thing.
We are on the record in 2024 CR 420, State of Kansas versus John Raymond Hanna. Please announce appearances.
Jared Regier on behalf of the state.
Your Honor, Darren Patterson, appear on behalf of John Hanna. Mr. Hanna does appear via Zoom audio visual from the Butler County Jail. Judge, this is a case where I am requesting the court to allow me to withdraw. I would just tell a court that communication has broken down to the point where counsel and client are not able to discuss the case any further, and would ask substitute counsel be appointed, or Mr. Hanna may hire counsel. I don't know.
Mr. Hanna, are you able to hire counsel?
I'll have to look into it, but I'm pretty sure I can figure something out.
Well, if you can hire an attorney, you should hire your own attorney. But you apparently told me or someone else that you couldn't afford an attorney early on, and you received court appointed.
No, I was saying that I have been in court. I've been pretty much in a situation where I was supposedly incarcerated, to where I haven't been able to contact my family members. What I explained. That's how I explained that. I don't like contacting my family members from facilities like this. I had problems with still my mail and identity theft, so I don't really condone talking to my family member and giving our address in a situation like this with these people who don't have what they call a 922E or a 912E jurisdiction. So we can continue on if you want to try to. I just adjust jurisdiction right now.
Well, what in the world is a 912E jurisdiction?
I'm the judge. You're supposed to figure it out. I'm telling you for.
I can't figure out something that doesn't exist.
It does exist, but I'm saying if you don't exist, I understand. If you don't know, I mean, it's not my fault.
Well, it is. If you're going to bring something up that I'm not familiar with, you're going to have to tell me what it is.
No, it's jurisdiction. I mean, you have to look it up. Everything you hired a counsel for me. You hired a counsel for me, and this dude is over here like supposed to be the. I mean, and then and the other thing, dude told me that the court that he said it was going to be 3 days from now. He didn't say it was going to be today.
Who told you that?
He did. The attorney did.
All right, Mr. Regier, do you know what this? Tell me that number again. What is that number you're citing, sir, for jurisdiction?
922E.
920.
And you got a 912E too.
At a 912.
Yeah, the corporate courts are illegal in the United States, pretty much.
Corporate courts are illegal.
Pretty much illegal in the United States, yeah, pretty much.
Oh God.
Okay, that's
on the Brady violation as well. Maryland versus Brady.
I know Brady.
Yeah, Maryland versus Brady. Yeah, and when we addressed this issue, you should have started with Maryland versus Brady. When you addressed me before anything, you're supposed to address me with Maryland versus Brady.
All right, stop it right now. I'm not going to keep taking your abuse.
Okay, I'm not going to take abuse. I don't want to lock those handcuffs on.
Brady has nothing to do with jurisdiction.
You're going to sit him down, and you're going to show respect for the court. You have
it's my house.
Stop it right now.
My house. I built it. Whatever. I built it. I'll pay down this bill.
You will stop it right now. I understand we have a screen between us.
Yeah, okay. I know we have a screen between us. I don't even know if you're in the courtroom, for real. Let's do a video.
Well, I think I understand why Mr. Patterson, a very experienced, very competent, qualified attorney, can't
I
work
got
with
one.
you.
I got a couple of them too.
Well, if you got them and you can afford them, there's no reason the taxpayers ought to be paying for your attorney.
I'll pay. What do you mean? I'm
True.
the taxpayer ain't paying for my attorney. Point blank. Quit telling my intelligence, please.
Well, I'd order them to take you into custody, but you're already there.
I know I'm in custody, and you went up on my bond in custody. What is? How you do that? Oh, that's what Department of Justice right there. Thank you. Are there any more things to issue, Mr. Jay? What's the
You
prosecutor's
will
name?
address me. Stop it. Mr. Patterson, you are most definitely excused from this case for the reasons cited. You may journalize the dismissal.
Yes, Judge.
And I don't see any need to point anyone else because the defendant's telling me he can afford an attorney. What do you need to hire your attorney?
Let me figure it out, and I get to it. I don't like to make rush decisions, especially in handcuffs.
All right, Mr. Regier, have you ever heard of this?
Thank you.
What he's
Department of
talking
Justice
about?
behind him too.
Stop talking. Do you, Mr.
Whatever.
Regier? Mr. Regier, do you know what he's in reference to when he says 922E jurisdiction and 912E jurisdiction?
I wrote that down backwards.
Judge, I think those are pursuant to federal rules of procedure.
Well,
Definitely.
we're not in federal court, so I don't keep
But
myself.
you have to go by my constitutional rights for a due process. For to be a corporate court, it could because you're financed by financed by federal money.
Oh my God.
This is not financed by the people here in this county. It's found that you get government grants to run this place from the feds.
Where in the
Right.
world did you hear that?
It's the truth.
Oh,
Where'd you
yeah?
hear it?
I don't matter what I heard because I do my own research. I'm not
Do your
answering that
own
question.
research.
I would plead the fifth on
Yes.
that question.
Based.
Well, I don't know what he's talking about.
Exactly.
It's a federal rule, but this is
And
not.
so we can bring up the competency of the court right now. We'll have to turn just on that. Do we need any issues, Mr. Prosecutor? The Department of Justice gonna be emailing you pretty soon.
Sir,
What?
let me explain something to you. You are in the district court, 13th Judicial District,
For misdemeanor accusation.
state of Kansas. This is not federal court.
I
So
understand it's federal court.
the rules that apply are the Kansas statutes annotated. Yes, the Constitution applies, but you're not citing Constitution. You're citing apparently federal rules of evidence that apply in federal courts, not in Kansas.
No, that doesn't
court.
apply in federal court. It applies to a state because it goes with Maryland versus Brady.
Where did you get your law?
Brady has nothing to, if those who don't know, Brady has to do with the state's requirement to provide exculpatory evidence to the defense in discovery. Has nothing to do with jurisdiction.
Degree.
You don't have to have a law degree. Doesn't matter about that because I've been educated by the best attorneys in the United States.
Oh yeah.
One of them is I happen to be real close to one of their daughters. A few of them.
What?
And their sons.
That's kind of
And I
creepy.
personally know a U.S. Supreme Court judge as well.
Oh.
All right,
Which
so Mr. Patterson is allowed to withdraw, and that's at your request, Mr. Hanna. You want him off your case, right?
Definitely.
All right, so this time is going to count against you so that you can get a new attorney. And you told me you are going to hire your attorney? Is that right?
Yeah, I said I will figure it out is what I said.
All right, so you'll figure it out. You don't want the court to address another court appointed, right?
Pretty much not. Not with that competency level.
Not a court appointed attorney. So let's have the notes reflect. He does not want a court appointed
Hey,
attorney.
yeah,
He
thank you for the
questions the
44 months.
competency
Yeah, I'm going to
level.
go after the
Appreciate it.
prosecutor now.
Oh, you want to go? You said you
Claim
want to
I'll
go
make
out?
against prosecuting. Thank you. Stay put that on the record. Stay before I got on paper. Thank you, Mr. Prosecutor.
So what did you say? You want to go after the prosecutor?
No, I said we will holler at the Department of Justice. We'll talk to him. Go after his accusation is what I said. Confront his accusation with the Department of Justice. That's what I said. Thank you. Is there anything else I can get back to where I was?
You're not in
incarcerated at?
Bro, you're not in control of this hearing. You can think that.
Deputy, do you think that But does he normally behave competently? I'm wondering if I need to do a competency evaluation. Anyone want to be heard on that?
I've already had one.
In this case you have?
No, I have one on my federal case. I felt competent because everything I say with it, it's already backed by law.
Hmm.
Well, I'm
True.
going to, on my own motion, order that there be a competency evaluation. That can be done in the county jail because I'm not sure you're tracking, Mr. Hannah.
Good for you. I don't care if you think that or not because I can decline it. I can decline that. And if I'm found incompetent, that means you can't do what? You can't put me in a court of law. So you just made another mistake.
Got him.
Well, if you're found to be incompetent, you will go to a state security hospital.
No, I'm
where
on
you-
it. You can't legally commit me to a hospital.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can if.
No, you
if
can't.
evidence is there, yes.
No, you can't. That just goes to show you try to commit me to a that's illegal. You can't do that either.
Yes, they can.
Well, he's set for jury trial this week. I'm going to continue the jury trial because he needs a new attorney. The time will count against him.
So they have to do illegal commits, take people's property, identity theft.
Pleasure boy. Thank you for the
Yes.
999 super
And we
chat.
need to do a competency
Appreciate it.
evaluation. We will set this over. When's my next available jury trial date, Jen?
February 23rd for the pretrial, February 25th and 26th for the jury trial.
And Bondi.
You said 26th, and did you say 25 and 26?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, so the defendant is ordered to be here February 23rd for pretrial and February 25th and 26th in person for a jury trial. And then when I get the motion on file for competency, then we'll set the competency hearing before then, of course. I see you have had a U.S. Marshal hold on federal charges. That was back in April of last year. I see there was a previous failure to appear.
I was in Butner on evaluation because I had to get rid of the last attorney I had. His name he was going under a fake name. His name was Kurt Burrows, and his name was Beeman Howard. So I had to remove from my case because he wasn't even who he said he was.
Well, I don't know.
Party mistake. Yes, conflict of interest. Yeah, I've had to remove from the case.
Well, I don't know either of those names. That must be on your felony charges.
Yeah, felon possession firearm, which I got a settlement on. Then I got a settlement when I was in federal prison for it. Got a settlement for it. I've been illegally detained. It's in the law book.
And I see your first appearance,
crazy,
9/6 of 24th. You were found to the court at that time. I think that might have been Judge Satterfield. I'm not sure. Found you very combative and challenging jurisdiction even then. Oh, it was Judge Sanders. That was retired former Chief Judge Sanders. Okay, former Chief Judge Sanders. All right. Well, I think everything is resolved. Anything else, Mr. Regier or Mr. Patterson, we need to address on this matter?
Your Honor, more of a point of clarification. If the court is ordering a competency evaluation, the state will be requesting clarification as to who has prepared the appropriate journal entry.
If your staff has those forms available and wants to do that, that would be fine. If not, I'll have to do it myself.
Very good, Your Honor.
And Judge, I'm out of the case, of course, but I think Mr. Regier knows that it's supposed to be the local mental health department that does the initial evaluation.
Yes.
The state is well aware of that, Your Honor.
Thank you. There's conflict of interest. He doesn't want interest.
Where's the conflict of interest, sir?
The prosecutor cannot give me he cannot be the one that gives me a competency hearing because he doesn't have my he's the one that is he's the one accusing me of something. He's the one that brought the charge. So he can't be the one in charge of my competency hearing because it's a conflict of interest. It has to be somebody who has my interest.
Well, I don't have your
or somebody that's objective to it. Objective point of view, it can't be him.
Okay, well, I'm the one that is ordering the competency evaluation. He just has the staff to do the paperwork, but I'm the one ordering it.
Okay, so, yeah, you shouldn't have said that though. It's on record.
All right. Well, All right, that's the order, and deputy, please, I'm remanding him back to your custody, the custody of the sheriff, to take him back wherever you need to take him.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. All right.
Judge, we have two more in custody. Cheyenne Pamp.
Pam.
Okay. Nice.
That's gonna be it. Um. So. Oh, nope. Wrong Williams. There it is. All right. So, if you want to watch me mauled and have my brain broken, you can stick around. But again, this is going to be a fairly boring stream. Let's see. Oh, I'm taking notes for the upcoming debate that I have with BJW. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, where's his crap? Treatise on the word person. All right. Let's see. So he first cites 8 USC 1101 B 3 to define person. Eight USC. That's 8 USC is the place for immigration. Why this section specifically? Because you go 8 USC 1101. Yeah, it's the Immigration and Nationality Act. Because you can go to, I believe you get, what is it, 18 USC? 18 USC 31? Oh, no, it doesn't have that one. Thought it did. Well, let me see here. 18 USC. I know there was other definitions. General provisions. I thought this would have here. Defined, defined, defined. Huh. Let me see. Ah. Why this title? Uh-huh. Thank you. Not Schroeder. Where the hell? Okay. There. Start new session. The debate is Sunday, and it's with Brandon Joe Williams. Let me see here. U.S. Code. There we go. Found one. so I'm looking at I'm looking through Westlaw right now, and I have here the definition of person. This is actually in the IRS code, section 7343, and it defines what a person is. Blah 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 blah. But then it has in relevant notes of discussion. It includes a sovereign citizen case. U.S. versus Rice, CA 5, Texas, 1981. This section defining a person required to file an income tax return was not intended to exclude individuals or natural persons from the responsibility to comply with tax laws. Great. All right, that's perfect. Oh man, that's excellent. 26 USC 7343 also defines person. Includes citation, rejecting SovCit distinction, which is what Brandon Joe Williams is trying to do or wants to do. Distinction between person and natural persons. That is U.S. versus Rice. CA 5 Tex 1981. And let's download this case just in case. Where is it? All right, let's save. I just saved it. Okay. Let me see here. Also, to kind of go into his bull BS, I looked this up earlier. Because this goes into his later, what's probably going to be his later, nuttery about U.S. citizens and state citizens. Because Texas, well, he's in California, but Texas defines person as person. Wait, is this the right one? Yes. And then it also defines individual. Also defines individual as means a human being who is alive, including an unborn child, at every stage of gestation, from fertilization until birth. Further, California also defines person oh, wait. Let's, Ah. I wish these guys would put in. Is it the civil code? Ah. Oh my gosh, why can't I find it? I found it easier yesterday, or not yesterday, but before. Statutes. California. Person. Oh, I know it. Where is it? Where's the traffic code? Vehicle code. Construction of code, delegation, required writings, impersonation, words and phrases defined. Here we go. Person. California defines person as includes a natural person, firm, co-partnership, association, limited liability. And then there. So I actually tried to find it, and California does not define natural person. Well, I could try it again here. Oh, I'm not here to change his mind at all, Tones. That's the last thing. That's the last thing I want to do in this debate. Yeah, they don't have any definition of what a natural person is. It's just assumed that it's just, again, because these are sovereign citizens, it's just assumed that a natural person obviously means a human being, and not like a fictional entity like a corporation or association. Anyway, back to his thing. So he defines as this, where in the immigration statute it's defined as an individual or an organization. But then he goes, the term individual is not specifically defined and thus defaults to the dictionary definition. Here's the one from Blacksforth! The individual. All right. Cites Black's Law Dictionary, 4th edition. Where he puts it here. But the 12th edition, currently, the individual as yes, I'll be live streaming. Yeah, so he relies on Black's Law Dictionary. Let me see. Black's Law 4th edition. I'm trying to figure out what year. (1951). 1951. But the 12th edition, like I said, excuse me. Ah. Ah, there we go. Black's Law. All right, let's go with individual. All right. Individual. There we go. Learn how to spell, idiot. Individual. 12th edition is 2024. 1 and 2. As existing as an individual entity, and 2, of relating to or involving a single person or thing as opposed to a group. Okay. What person in Black's Law Dictionary? John Beeble, think of $10 for the debate fund. I don't need it. I don't need a debate fund, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Thank you, man. Person. And here it is. And this is gonna blow his mind. The simplest thing. Defines person as a human being. That's it. Also termed natural person. So basically the debate ends here. Or could end here. I mean, that's that completely blows his entire argument, because if he's going to rely on Black's Law Dictionary as an authoritative source, I can too. And if I look at person and the most modern edition, the most up-to-date current edition that's supposed to reflect the modern understanding of these words, what's it going to be here? Okay. So he does actually cite other statutes. He cites the tax code as well. But he has a different one, the one I found, which is, mine is from 7343. This one is 7701. But he's going to hinge his whole thing on individual, meaning corporations. But no, the modern understanding of it, what an individual is. Ow. Because a person as defined in modern times contradicts his entire foundation. Like, and then again, he's going into the definition of citizen and people, where he goes to the Naturalization Act of 1790. Okay, and so he's going to reference here that in the Naturalization Act of 1790, where where he really likes to point out free white person can be a citizen or something like that. Maybe admitted to become a citizen thereof on application. A problem here is that did exist at that time, but the term free white person was finally, took him long enough, finally, like, eliminated in the Immigration Act of, Immigration Nationality Act of 1965. Or at least, maybe free white person as a qualifier removed. Now he says it's there's only state citizenship at this time, and the term U.S. citizen in U.S. and U.S. United States was not specific and separated type of citizenship at the time. At this time, wait, no, but it says you mother. But he's so citation needed here. That the only thing that existed before was state citizenship. Because the Naturalization Act explicitly says that any alien who shall have resided within the limits and under the jurisdiction of the United States for the term of 2 years may be admitted to become a citizen thereof. It doesn't say and under the jurisdiction of the... God, okay, sorry. United States, whatever. So when I did my research on here, I mean, I'm not even going to get into this in depth because, again, his entire argument is obliterated. If we're going to be relying on definitions of words, with Black's Law Dictionary and statutes. So now this is where he cites Dred Scott versus Sanford. Where he says that there's a distinction between people and persons. Tries to rely on majority opinion to differentiate between people and persons as written in the U.S. Constitution. Oh my god, shut up, shut up, shut the fuck up. I don't care. Yeah, see, he really like dick sucks the majority author of Dred Scott. I don't even know why. So after Dred Scott, obviously, we go into 14th Amendment. 14th Amendment. and slaughterhouse. Cases. There. Slaughter. Here we go. The problem that he has with Dred Scott is that Dred Scott was ultimately overturned by virtue of the 14th Amendment. And therefore this idea that person can only mean freed black slaves and people only means free white people is just nuts. But here he goes with the slaughterhouse cases. So the problem here where's the synopsis? No, not the synopsis, the okay. So, all right. So part of his argument here is that the 14th Amendment argues that the 14th Amendment and in conjunction and by connection, the 13th and 15th Amendments solely apply to freed black slaves. In other words, because white white, what? I guess, what? Human beings are people and not persons. They are not the 14th Amendment is not applicable. He goes on to argue that white people get their apparent rights from the original constitutional language. So so his thing is like, and then, but the problem with what the slaughterhouse cases did is that it basically neutered the 14th Amendment in its application to the states. Now, since then, the 14th Amendment has been, in other words, the 14th Amendment has, oh my gosh, the 14th Amendment was neutered by this decision in terms of applying the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments, to the states. In other words, an individual cannot challenge state laws on the basis of being deprived of their due process rights under the 14th Amendment because the law violates, say, their free speech rights. Here, the above quotes have been terribly misunderstood, and this is the exact specific point of the complete downfall of our country. Sorry. Ugh. We think this distinction and explicit recognition of this amendment great weight in the. Please reread the above quotes as many times as needed to understand what the Honorable Samuel Freeman Miller was trying to do. Look up his background. He felt very strongly about freeing the slaves, was trying to be explicit, and how the 14th Amendment only applied to release Negroes and had nothing to do with free white men of the various states of the Union. If Mr. Miller came back from the dead and were to see what happened in the decision, he would be absolutely pissed. This is not what he intended at all. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. No. He's actually incorrect. And the proof is in the actual decision. Because he's an idiot. He's right and wrong at the same time. It's hard to go from this to explain this. Let me see, where is it? So 15. See, so, the most cursory glance at these articles discloses a unity of purpose when taken in connection with the history of the times, which cannot fail to have an important bearing on any question of doubt concerning their true meaning. Nor can such doubts, when any reasonably exist, be safely and rationally solved without a reference to that history. For in it is found the occasion and the necessity for recurring again to the great source of power of this country, the people of the United States. Is he meaning only free white people? Free white, men when referring to people? I don't know. I don't think so. For additional guarantees of human rights, additional powers to the federal government, additional restraints upon those of the states. Fortunately, that history is fresh within the memory of us all, and leading in its leading features as they bear upon the matter before us, free from doubt. So here he goes on to define the 13th Amendment. 13th Amendment, neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except that as a punishment for crime, whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist with the United States or any place subject to the jurisdiction. Congress shall have the power, blah, 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 blah. To withdraw the mind for the contemplation of this grand yet simple declaration of the personal freedom of all the human race within its jurisdiction. Personal servitude is proved by the use of involuntary, which can only apply to human beings. So he goes into the history of not just slavery, but also indentured servants. Before we proceed to the more critically, the provisions of this amendment, the 14th Amendment. They were all in those states denied the right of suffrage. Those laws administered by the white man alone it is urged that a race of men distinctly marked as was the Negro living in the midst of another dominant race could never be fully secured in their person and property without the right of suffrage. Hence the 15th Amendment, which declares that the right of a citizen of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by any state on account of race, color, or previous condition of servitude. Then here, the Negro having by the 14th Amendment been declared to be a citizen of the United States is thus made a voter in every state of the Union. But here it says. We do not say that no one else but the Negro can share in this protection. Both the language and the spirit of these articles are to have their fair and just weight in every kind of question of construction. Undoubtedly, while Negro slavery alone was in the mind of Congress, which proposed the 13th article, it forbids other kinds of slavery now or hereafter. a Mexican peonage, or the Chinese coolie labor system shall develop slavery of the Mexican or Chinese race within our territory, this amendment may safely be trusted to make it void. And so, if other rights are assailed by the states, which properly and necessarily fall within the protection of these articles, that protection will apply, though the party interested may not be of African descent. This explicitly, this right here, end of discussion. End of discussion. We're done. Right here, the judge is explicitly saying that the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments apply to everyone, not just freed African slaves. You moron. All right, this is proper citation. Slaughter. This case is at 72. The first section of the 14th article, to which our attention is more especially invited, opens with the definition of citizenship. Not only citizenship of the United States, but citizenship of the state. No such definition was previously found in the Constitution, nor had any attempt been made to define it by act of Congress. It had been the occasion of much discussion in the courts, by the executive departments, and in public journals. It had been said by eminent judges that no man was a citizen of the United States, except that as he was a citizen of one of the states composing the Union. Those, therefore, who had been born and resided always in the District of Columbia and the territories, though within the United States, were not citizens. Whether this proposition was sound or not has never been judicially decided, but it had been held by this court in the celebrated Dred Scott case, only a few years before the outbreak of the Civil War, that a man of African descent, whether a slave or not, was not and could not be a citizen of a state or of the United States. This decision, while it met the condemnation of some of the ablest statesmen and constitutional lawyers of the country, had never been overruled. And if it was to be accepted as a constitutional limitation of the right to citizenship, then all the Negro race who had been recently made freemen were still not only not citizens, but were capable of becoming so by anything short of an amendment to the Constitution. To remove this difficulty primarily, and to establish a clear and comprehensive definition of citizenship, which should declare what should constitute citizenship of the United States, and also... no! Serrana! Oh, what did you do? The first clause of the first section was framed. All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. And again, this part also disproves, contradicts his argument. The first observation we have to make on this clause is that it puts at rest both the questions which we stated to have been the subject of difference of opinion. It declares that persons may be citizens of the United States without regard to their citizenship of a particular state, and it overturns the Dred Scott decision by making all persons, emphasis added, born in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction of the citizens of the United States, that its main purpose was to establish citizenship of the Negro can admit of no doubt. The phrase "subject to its jurisdiction" was intended to exclude from its operation children of ministers, consuls, and citizens of subject to foreign states born within the United States. There. Did at 73. The next observation is more important in view of the arguments of counsel in the present case. It is that a distinction between the citizenship of the United States and citizenship of a state is clearly recognized and established. Not only may a man be a citizen of the United States without being a citizen of a state, but an important element is necessary to convert the former into the latter. He must reside within a state to make it a citizen of it, but it is only necessary that he should be born or naturalized in the United States to be a citizen of the Union. So, again, this contradicts his BS saying that white people are not U.S. citizens. If you were born here, you're a U.S. citizen. So, here we go. Blah, 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 blah. All persons, not people. All persons, not people. Yeah, see, this is an entire shtick. Is that the Dred Scott's, distinction between persons and people survived the slaughterhouse cases. And it didn't. It explicitly didn't. They explicitly said it doesn't. I hope that you can see that Mr. Miller was trying to be quite specific in how himself and the Supreme Court were interpreting the 14th Amendment, meaning none of this has to do with anything to do with white people or state citizens. And it had... Oh my god. And it had Mr. Miller's decision actually been followed, as he set forth, we wouldn't be in this fucking nightmare that we find ourselves in today in America. I don't even know what he means by that. Yeah, see, he completely omits whole paragraphs of the decision where it explicitly says that these articles, these amendments, apply not just to freed African slaves, they apply to everybody. And then he cites this case, which I think is stupid of him to do. He thinks it supports his argument, and it doesn't. Sorry. So this case, and I don't even think he knows what the case is about. In this case, this was a woman was challenging where is it? Was trying to vote. She was trying to vote in the state of California. She was denied, and then she sued under the 14th Amendment. And she cited the 14th Amendment on there. In this decision, it is claimed that the plaintiff is a citizen of the United States and of this state. Undoubtedly, she is. So first off, this decision contradicts his argument that free white people aren't U.S. citizens, but this decision says they are. She is. But then she says, it is argued that she became such by force of the first section of the 14th Amendment already recited. The court says this, however, is a mistake. See, but they say that no white person born within the limits of the United States and subject to their jurisdiction or born within those limits and subsequently naturalized under the laws owes status of citizenship to the recent amendments of the federal constitution. But the court is what the court's saying is that free white people were already citizens by virtue of the original Constitution. They didn't need the 14th Amendment to establish that right because they already had it. But the problem, again, what Brandon Joe Williams doesn't get is that the 14th Amendment added freed Africans into that same pool of U.S. citizen with white people. It didn't make a distinction between the two, or continue a distinction between the two. Yeah. Then it goes into domicile and residence. I feel like the problem is that we're probably not going to get very far in this discussion. It's going to purely be on citizenship, person, individual, people, and the 14th Amendments, and the slaughterhouse case is what, because we could have it. This entire debate will probably center on that shorthand because there's so much bullshit that he has. Because then he goes into Magna Carta. Then he's just like, oh no, sovereign citizens, blah 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 blah. Individual sovereignty is possible as someone who's neither a state citizen or a U.S. citizen. They be considered stateless, but they do not have the protections of the Bill of Rights. And the Constitution, like you may believe, because they are not parties to it, just how they weren't party to it. People are not state citizens, they're not party to it. This is exactly where the resident alien came from. The term means persons who are not members of the sovereignty and are here in our zone as immigrants. You could also go so far as to say people as is defined by white men and women who are parties to the Constitution. Then you can define persons as non-white men, women, and legal fictions that are not at all or only partially parties to the Constitution. The problem we face is that very few people are members of the political bodies that comprise the sovereignty. Anyone identifying as a U.S. citizen would not be a member of the sovereignty. So the term sovereign citizen sort of gains an entirely new look through this lens. A sovereign citizen is simply a member of the sovereign body, and they help to compose the body of the sovereignty that operates under the same basic functionality as the Magna Carta. Then, by being a functional and contributing member of the sovereignty, collectively you have access to tremendous and personal and individual sovereignty. That's his loophole! That is loophole! Fucking this guy! What?! This is an important distinction. It has been one of the primary areas that we, as researchers and litigants, have fallen down badly. The "you can't catch me because I'm not a citizen and not in your jurisdiction" mentality is the main point of failure in all our groups. We need to properly regroup the 50 political bodies that form collective sovereignties. Each of the 50 independent nation states, I don't think he knows what a nation state is, And we need to assist one another to reform those political bodies and then operate those political bodies in relationship with the District of Columbia. What do you care about the District of Columbia if you're not a U.S. citizen? Why do you care? I feel like I think this is a mistake. I feel like if I told him to kick rocks, he treated it as a victory. So this is where he gets out of the argument here, because he does cite 1 USC 8, saying person, human being, child, and individual, including born alive infant, says blah, blah, blah. The words person, human being, child, and individual shall include every infant member of the species Homo sapiens who is born alive at any stage of development. So, well, yeah. What do you see? But then he says, it's me. An individual is me. It says, no, it's not. It says, your umbilical cord placenta, according to the above definition of live birth, were both independent live births. So let me ask you, who is on your birth certificate? Is it your body? Is it your umbilical cord? Is it your placenta? No. No. No? What the fuck are you talking about? No, it's not. Then now he defines, with all of his bullshit, now he defines person as, quote, the term person shall be construed to mean and include a Negro, a sole proprietorship, a trust, estate, partnership, associated company, or corporation. What the fuck is he doing? Again, because this guy says persons equal black people. Person cannot equal white people. It's fucking stupid. And it's, again, it's completely debunked by the very cases he cites. Jesus Christ, dude, chill. What the fuck? Bro, are you good? This is just ramble. 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 So he does actually know what incorporation is. What are you talking about? Yeah, see, this is why I'm telling you that this we're not getting anywhere past this. This debate could probably end in like 30 minutes. Because we're not going, because this is fundamental to his whole ideology, is that African Americans are U.S. citizens and white people are not. It's so and that's a foundation of his entire bullshit. Sorry, I can't read the rest of this crap. Sorry, I can't read the rest of this crap. I'm done. I'm probably going to go back here, maybe one more day, and flesh out this section here only, because this is, I'm not moving. I'm not moving out of this section. Period. Because this entire thing, this is fundamental to his entire worldview, and I'm not moving off of this. Oh, wrong. Well, yeah, we're not getting a moderator. We probably should get one, but I don't think there'd be anyone that either of us would accept. Okay, I think I'm done torturing myself. I'm gonna play some Battlefield or something, I don't know. And probably tweak my PC a bit. But I appreciate you guys coming in. I told you it was gonna be a boring stream, so I apologize. I'll probably be back on maybe tomorrow. I think so, tomorrow. But we'll see. Yeah, you guys have a good one. Appreciate all the love. Hit that like button. Check out my Discord. All that jazz. Thank you guys. Have a good evening. Bye-bye. Also, I gotta eat. I'm hungry. Bye.